Wow, what a whirlwind the last few days in AI have been. You've got a new flagship model from OpenAI, a massive open source competitor, and research that's making us question the very future of our data. So let's break down what you really need to know from the April 24th briefing. It's not just about keeping up anymore, is it? It's really about seeing the connections. A single product launch can completely flip investment strategies overnight, and one new research paper can redefine the risks we all have to manage. So that's what we're here to do, connect those dots for you. All right, here's the game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the new power players heating up the commercial front. Then we're going to dive into what I'm calling the double-edged sword of research. After that, we'll get into the human side of all this, governance. And finally, we'll pull it all together with the key takeaways you should be watching for. Okay, let's jump right in. The commercial frontier. This is where the rubber meets the road. The big product releases, the massive investments are all happening here. And man, the last few days have been absolutely packed with some major moves. So, to no one's surprise, OpenAI is making huge waves again, this time with GPT-5.5. The big deal here is its focus on really complex, multi-step tasks. Think sophisticated coding, deep dive research, heavy-duty data analysis. And listen, this isn't just a small, incremental update. It's a massive leap in power that could totally change how businesses get work done. And they are not wasting any time putting it to work. This is a perfect example of how fast this space moves. GPT 5.5 is already the engine behind the new Codex 3.0. And get this, they're framing it as a true AI agent. It can operate across different applications to build software, run tests, and fix bugs, all by itself. That's a huge step forward. But hold on, because the closed-source world wasn't the only one making news. On the exact same day, DeepSeek comes out and drops its V4 series, which is a massive development for the open-source community. And let's be clear, this isn't just some small alternative. It is a direct challenge, offering incredible power without the black box. For anyone doing custom development or research, this is a total game changer. And the scale here is just staggering. DeepSeek put out 2 versions. You've got the Pro model with a crazy 1.6 trillion parameters, and then a more efficient Flash model. But look at that context window on both of them. 1 million tokens. Do you know what that means? These models can process and remember a ridiculous amount of information all at once. We're talking entire code bases, massive research libraries, all in a single go. And of course, you know what follows the tech, the money, and the talent. You've got giants like Tencent and Alibaba reportedly sniffing around DeepSeek, which just proves how valuable these open-source powerhouses have become. At the same time, you're seeing global talent strategies shift, with Anthropic and NESC teaming up to scale Japan's AI workforce. And on the safety side, OpenAI is putting its money where its mouth is, with a bio-bug bounty, a pretty clear signal they're taking these new risks very seriously. Okay, so let's shift gears now to the research front. Because here's the thing. For every amazing new capability we just saw, there's a team of researchers somewhere grappling with the fundamental risks that come along with it. It really is a double-edged sword. So this is one of the most critical questions facing the entire industry right now. As the internet gets more and more flooded with AI-generated text and images, our future models are going to be trained on that synthetic data. There's just no avoiding it. So what happens then? Well, the answer is a phenomenon that researchers are calling model collapse. You can basically think of it as a kind of digital inbreeding. The models start to forget the richness and weirdness of original human data, and their outputs become these distorted copies of copies. It's a real social dilemma. It's useful for one person, but if we all do it, we could end up poisoning the data well for everyone. And model collapse is really just one piece of this much larger puzzle about trust. Researchers are also tackling other incredibly complex problems like how to find security flaws that are hidden across dozens of code updates, or how you can certify an image is real when the AI is built right into the camera. All of this points to one crucial need. Our frameworks for safety and ethics have to evolve just as fast as the technology. But okay, let's flip that sword over to the other side. While some researchers are focused on the risks, others are pushing the absolute boundaries of what's possible, and the results are just fascinating. For example, this idea of AgenticAI, systems that can act on their own to achieve a goal, is now being used to automate entire scientific workflows. We're seeing hyper-specialized models pop up, like one built specifically for materials science. And in one incredible study, researchers are even mimicking how human infants learn to see to create more robust AI vision systems. The creativity here is truly off the charts. So, this brings us to the human element. With all this power and all these new capabilities, how do we as a society perceive, trust, and ultimately govern this technology? This quote from Delta's CEO Ed Bastian really gets to a core challenge. He basically argues that the term artificial intelligence itself can be scary and counterproductive. For businesses, this isn't just about semantics, it's about adoption. The language we use literally shapes whether people see this tech as a tool to embrace or a threat to fear. And that question of perception leads us right to the much, much harder question of governance. I mean, if we can't even agree on how to talk about AI without freaking people out, how can we possibly build effective rules to manage it, especially in really sensitive areas? A new paper on AI in journalism tackles this problem head-on. It points out that our traditional way of designing things, where you bring in stakeholders to help shape a tool, it just doesn't really work with AI. Why? Well, because these systems are often these opaque black boxes. Their core architecture is fixed, which makes it incredibly difficult for users to have any meaningful influence. So, the researchers propose a new framework. It starts by just acknowledging that AI resists our influence. From there, it suggests we implement what they call gradual voluntary participation. It's kind of a mouthful, but it's basically about creating more flexible, ongoing ways for people to provide input instead of just one single design session. It's a much more nuanced approach that respects the reality of the technology. So, after covering new models, new research, and new ideas on governance, what are the key signals to watch? Let's synthesize all of this. 3 key things really stand out from all this. First, the model arms race is accelerating, with fierce competition between the closed and the open source giants. Second, we're seeing that duality of research in action. For every new capability we unlock, a new risk like model collapse emerges that has to be managed. And third, that governance gap is widening. The tech is advancing way faster than our ability to manage it, which creates this urgent need for new, human-centered frameworks. And that leaves us with one final and I think crucial question. We are getting undeniably better and faster at building powerful AI. But are we getting any wiser in how we choose to build it, deploy it, and integrate it into our society? That's the core question that I think we all need to be grappling with. Thanks for tuning in.